a 10-year-old boy quietly snuck into a graduate student lecture about perpetual motion machines. The students showed no interest, but the boy named Spiv had a glint of confidence in his eyes.
I accept the challenge.
The professor thought it was just a child's prank, never expecting Spivot's extraordinary design talent. After countless hours of hard work, Spivot successfully built a machine theoretically capable of running for 400 years. However, no one could have guessed the genius boy's cold, detached family. His father, a taciturn cowboy, rarely spoke. His mother, a brilliant entomologist, was always engrossed in research. The most beloved was Spivot's younger brother, who inherited their father's wild spirit. Skilled at riding and shooting, he won all of their father's pride. In his father's eyes, Spivot was just an introverted, clumsy child. He drew strange blueprints all day that his father never understood. With the father's favoritism fully given to the younger brother, Spivot was neglected, until that fateful afternoon. Spivot dragged his brother to the barn for an experiment recording gunshot sound waves. In an instant, a shot rang out and his brother's life vanished. From that day, no one in the family ever mentioned the brother's existence again, as if he had never been part of their lives. No one openly blamed Spivot, but he could feel his father's indifference deepen. To bridge the gap, Spivot built an intricate 3D farm model to solve the ranch's water shortage, but his father rudely cut him off without a chance to explain.
Yeah, it's me, it's just pissing the cap. Open your eyes, you'd see that.
The father's coldness completely crushed Spivot. Even more heartbreaking, his mother drowned herself in endless work to escape the pain of losing a son. Even his sister barely spoke to him. The house was filled with icy silence. Finally, Spivot decided to leave the suffocating home. One day, a phone call changed everything. The prestigious Science Society informed Spivot his perpetual motion design won the Baird Prize. They invited him to Washington, D.C. for the award ceremony. Spivot ran to tell his sister, but she didn't believe a word.
For an interview? You're full of crap.
He knew if she didn't believe him, his parents definitely wouldn't. Not wanting to miss this once-in-a-lifetime chance, he decided to make the 1,000-plus-kilometer journey to D.C. alone. Late at night, he quietly packed his bags and crept downstairs. Halfway, he stopped, deciding to leave no regrets. He wrote a note telling his family he'd return safely after the event. At dawn, Spivot set off into the unknown. To catch a train, he painted a yellow signal light bright red. Unexpectedly, the train actually stopped. Spivot quickly pushed his luggage on board but didn't have time to climb on himself. When a worker suddenly appeared, he frantically crawled under the train to hide. The train abruptly started, forcing him to crawl out at the risk of his life. The worker's shouts grew closer. Without time to think, Spivot climbed onto the cargo conveyor belt, hit the start button, and successfully boarded. The train carried Spivot towards a wider world. Scenes he had only seen on TV and in textbooks now vividly unfolded before his eyes. He felt a newfound freedom, but danger followed close behind. Officers along the way had received word, searching the train at every stop. In the nick of time, Spivot hid inside a shipped mobile home. When inspectors arrived, he posed motionless as an advertising model, but his runny nose threatened to give him away. At that critical moment, the train whistle suddenly blew. The inspectors were forced to disembark, and Spivot narrowly escaped again. The train continued on as his hometown faded further away. While the train briefly stopped to unload cargo, Spivot snuck off to buy food. At the checkout, he ran into two cops holding missing person flyers with his photo. Spivot quickly turned his back. Luckily, the officers were too busy chatting to notice, but the shopkeeper instantly recognized the boy.
I know someone who ain't gonna be happy with you. Your mom. Just kidding, young man. But if you eat your hot dog before your dinner, you ain't gonna be hungry for the soup she made ya.
I don't have a mother, ma'am. My parents are dead.
You take care, little guy. See what happens to kids who go astray?
The brief conversation with the shopkeeper touched Spivot's heart. Passing a phone booth, he couldn't resist calling home. He imagined his family, upon learning he wasn't kidnapped, would express how much they missed him, but that was just his wishful thinking. As the journey's novelty gradually faded, Spivot started feeling homesick. No matter how wise beyond his years, he was still just a 10-year-old kid. The unfamiliar stations, cold train cars, and uncertain tomorrows filled him with unprecedented fear.
I need more of this, and I'd soon be peeing on myself, like when I was little, and afraid of the jack-o'-lantern's deadly fangs.
After who knows how long, the lonely journey finally neared its end. As the train stopped, Spivot dragged his heavy luggage onto the platform. For ease of movement, he decided to travel light, taking only a small bag with essentials. He hid his large luggage and carefully walked along the tracks. But before long, a police car suddenly appeared. The officers, learning Spivot illegally boarded the train, prepared to arrest him. Spivot took off running with the police in hot pursuit. Reaching a gate, he paused, and the cops thought he had given up resisting. But Spivot's expression suddenly tightened, and he jumped across in a death-defying leap. Spivet successfully landed on the other side, but the fierce impact left him with agonizing rib pain. Could he still make it to Washington and complete this adventure? This movie is called The Young and Prodigious T.S. Spivet.